If government belongs to the people, then the people should understand how government works. And transparency only works if citizens understand what they're seeing. Hi, I'm Danielle, and in this series of videos, our goal is to help break down some of the terminology, procedures, and laws that often get thrown around in local government, but aren't always explained in plain English. This is not to tell you what to think, but to help you better understand how local government is supposed to work. Today, we're looking at the Open Records Act, also known as part of Georgia's Sunshine Laws. First, let's clear up one common misunderstanding. When people hear the term Sunshine Laws, they often think it's one single law. But in reality, it's more of a nickname for a group of transparency laws designed to keep government activity open and visible to the public. In Georgia, two of the biggest parts of that are the Open Meetings Act and the Open Records Act. The Open Meetings Act deals with meetings. The Open Records Act deals with documents and information. Today, we're focusing mainly on the Open Records side. In plain English, the Open Records Act says that most records created or maintained by government agencies belong to the public, not the government itself. That can include things like emails, contracts, budgets, meeting minutes, text messages related to public business, police reports, permits, financial records, and many other government documents. The idea behind the law is that taxpayers fund government operations, so citizens should generally have the right to see how decisions are being made and how public money is being used. Now, that does not mean everything is automatically public, and this is where a lot of confusion begins. There are important exceptions built into the law. Certain records may be protected or partially withheld for reasons involving ongoing investigations, personnel matters, medical privacy, legal strategy, juvenile information, public safety concerns, or other protected categories under state and federal law. So the law tries to balance two important ideas: government transparency and legitimate confidentiality. Here's another important point. An open records request does not require you to explain why you want the information. A citizen generally does not have to prove a good reason for asking. In many cases, a person can simply request records from a city, county, school board, or police department, and the agency is required to respond within a legally defined time frame. That does not always mean the records must be immediately handed over, but the agency usually must acknowledge the request and explain whether the records will be provided, partially withheld, or denied under a specific legal exemption. And honestly, one of the biggest misunderstandings in local government is this: delay or denial does not automatically mean corruption. But at the same time, transparency laws exist because public trust depends on citizens being able to verify information for themselves. That's really the heart of these laws. I hope that makes sense. This is part of an ongoing series where we break down government terms, procedures, and public processes in plain English, so everyday citizens can better understand how local government actually works. Be sure to follow along as we continue unpacking topics like executive sessions, quorums, special called meetings, public records, and more. Thanks for watching.